Hey everyone, I'm Ben.
I'm Rom.
Welcome back to the One Piece versus 4K podcast, where we compare the 4Kids anime to the Funimation dub, and sometimes throw into comparisons to the manga. We are back again today, episode 36 from my end, episode like 50 episodes from Ram's end. I don't even know what episode. Maybe it's episode 37 or something.
It's episode. I'm pretty
38.
sure it's probably episode 38. I don't
Yeah.
think
Okay.
they're
Yeah.
gonna do
38.
39. But yeah.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. So. Well, what's been going on with you?
So I mean, kind of like what we were talking about prior to starting. Like, yeah, I've been watching a lot of shows. I I had started watching Ozarks. Caught up with Ozarks. Completed the one season of Invincibles. Started watching JoJo, and
And then finished Mandalorian season 1.
yes,
No, you didn't.
yes,
Did you really?
yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
You actually finished it.
season one. Yeah,
So what was your thought? Did it get better?
yes, it definitely got better. I don't remember which episode it was. Like, hang on, I just have to pull up the episode list for Mandalorian season one. But yeah, it does get like a lot better. The earliest one that I can think of is episode. I think the episode where he helps that one kid out.
The
And
episode where he helps the one kid out. Oh, well, I don't even know, man. I don't know what one kid you're talking about.
not kid, but he's like a new like bounty hunter. He's like a very young bounty hunter. Okay, it's I guess it is kind of in episode 3 and 4.
Got it. So
Yeah.
the one episode you had left off on, it was like right where it got big.
Yeah, I think like episode yeah, definitely episode 4, the sanctuary. I definitely got in, but yeah, no, episode 2 was fine. The one with Bill Burr was great, and then yeah, the way it ended, it was it was pretty big. I don't know how the show's gonna continue from there, so I'm excited to watch season 2 whenever. Maybe I'll start watching it sometime this week or something. But yeah, so here's the thing, right? So I know like this one actor is in The Mandalorian, but I didn't think he would be the character that he was. And then when he was revealed, I was just like, oh,
Who are you talking about? We can do spoilers because I'm sure. Just
okay, okay,
skip past 5 minutes or skip past 3 minutes if you haven't heard it.
okay. It's gosh, the guy from the latest. Okay, I'm gonna get his name. It's Pedro Pascal. Let's see who it was.
Wait, you didn't know he was the Mandalorian?
No, like so I know he was in the show. I knew he was in the show. I didn't think he was. I thought like he was one of those actors who was gonna take like some other role. Um,
Oh, okay. So you didn't realize he was the actual Mandalorian at first.
yeah, until they revealed it. Cause like, and I don't want to say too many spoilers, but like, it's like, well, I mean, I guess it's fine. The main thing is that the guy is like, I don't take my mask off in
Oh
front of
yeah,
other
yeah.
people constantly, and then when they did, I was just like, oh, I thought he was gonna do something else or maybe do it with. I'm like, no, this is
Wait,
like,
doesn't man? I'm even having a hard time remembering this because you're being so like secretive. Doesn't he only? I think in season 1 he only he takes it off in front of the child, right?
no, the machine, the
Oh
robot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he didn't trust him or whatever, right?
Well, he said he wouldn't trust. Yeah, yeah. First, yeah, he didn't trust anyone, and then he said he would only take the mask off. He wouldn't take a mask off for an organism, and the robot was like, "Well, I'm not an organism. I'm a robot." And so he was
Oh yeah,
like, "Okay."
okay, yeah. Now I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, then I think like they went off at the very end, and I'm excited to see what's in season two. Um, yeah,
Yeah, season two, I think just eclipses season one in every way. So I think
oh,
you're
okay,
in for a treat.
okay, that's good. Yeah, I
And
mean, dude, like usually it's like a show's supposed to start with a bang, and then like it can kind of get slow, and then this is the one show where it's like it just like drags in the beginning, and then it just gets like insane.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
in
yeah. But you know what? I don't. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of I don't. Maybe it's kind of fitting the way it starts out. Does any like I know like a lot of the Star Wars movies start out with like a like a like a ship, but like I don't think any of the movies like actually start out like just like immediately or like I'm interested.
yeah, like I think all of those like scenes where like they're in like the desert, it just kind of like tunes out a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's this is going to be like kind of like a future spoiler alert for One Piece fans, but or especially those who are watching this. And this is we are actually going to cover this arc later on. But there's this one arc where they're in like the sands and people. I remember like anytime I would rewatch One Piece from the beginning, like that would be the one arc I would kind of dread, just because I thought it was slow. And everybody's like, yeah, no, yeah, it does feel kind of slow, just because like they're in like the desertish kind of area for like a long time, and it just gets like really annoying and stuff. But yeah, it just feels so slow.
Mhm.
But like for instance, like Invisible has like a hook right in the first episode that separates it from other regular like like superhero TV shows. Like there's this thing that happens on the first episode that's like honestly the first episode it was like everything just felt like okay, it's just like a normal show and stuff. And then there's the hook at the very end, and then I was just like, oh, okay. No, it's living up to what people said it was, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to season two. But yeah, I've been like watching like a lot of shows, man. Um, yeah, but I guess like on the One Piece end, um, since the last time I think a one chapter was released, and it was a pretty good chapter. One of the characters who will actually meet in the Four Kids, um, like she yeah, one of the characters like they do this she does this one move, and like yeah, it's like an insane move. There's like this very it's kind of I don't know if they're gonna when they animate this scene in the anime, I don't know if they're gonna try to make it a little more like um I don't know if they're gonna make it a little more sad, but it was just one of those things where it was like a quick brief moment, and it was just like, oh man, that was so sad, just because of their life stories. It's so sad. Um, but the manga was pretty good. It wasn't like it was pretty good. They like there's still like a lot of fighting going on. In the manga in this current chapter, obviously they're still in the middle, but it was one of those like, okay, here is the current status of everyone in like where they're at in the war that's going on right now, kind of that's been going on in the manga. In the anime, obviously they're back from the flashbacks, and they're like in the island right now, and they're actually like they're initiating the fights, like it's like small scraps are going on right now. So yeah, the anime's been like really good, and the manga's been really good. So there is another chapter that's coming out this week, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on my end. What about you?
Yeah, other than, what we talked about before, watched, this past earlier this week I watched The Locks and Dipset versus that was good.
Mhm,
I guess and I said I watched the movie Luca sometime last week or whatever. That was
mhm,
good too. Uh but I want to talk about something I watched that was
mhm.
absolutely horrible. I don't think you've seen it yet. But I saw Space Jam 2, and it was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's probably like in the top. I'm just trying to think about like the worst movies I've seen. I think it might be in the top 5. And
Um, do you
yeah,
think a kid would have liked it?
uh, maybe, maybe
Okay. Okay, how do you rate Kazam?
Kazam, the
Yeah,
movie with
Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Dude, I barely remember that movie, but I guarantee you, if I watched it again, it would not be as bad as Space Jam 2.
How did you like Space Jam 1?
Loved it.
You loved it, like as in if you saw it again today, you would love
Yes,
it?
and I know if I saw it again today, I would love it because I vividly and I know it's not like a nostalgia thing either. Like I vivid well, I'm sure it's a little bit nostalgia, but like just the way the movie was structured is so much better. Like I'm like remembering bits and pieces of it, and like the comedy was better. Like everything about the movie, about the original movie, is better.
Mm,
And the thing, like I think the thing that makes, have you seen Space Jam 2?
I haven't seen Space Jam 2 yet.
Okay, yeah, it's not as good. So it's just I'm not gonna spoil much. This is the very beginning of the movie. So
Okay.
you know how in like the first Space Jam, how it's kind of
To be
it's kind
honest,
of like a
I didn't watch
autobiography.
I
What?
didn't watch Space Jam 1 either.
What? I
I
thought
don't
you
think I've ever
did.
No.
We had this conversation
I
last
don't
time.
I may have watched clips, but I don't think I've ever watched the full movie.
Oh, well, you should watch the first movie, man, and never watch the second movie. Or maybe you should watch the first movie and then watch the second movie and just see how like watch the first movie, then wait a
Mhm.
week so you can just, let that movie sit with you, and then watch Space Jam 2, and then you're just gonna be pissed.
I
So
was I
like,
was
go ahead.
I was thinking that maybe I should watch the no, watch the second movie and then watch the first movie so that, if it's like if the first movie is like much better than the second movie, then it's like um I'll know instantly that, oh man, this is like so good. So then it's like I watch Space Jam 2 and it's like whatever. And then I watch Space Jam 1 and it's like so amazing. I'm like, "Oh, that's why they said it sucked." Okay.
Well, dude, I think if you watch Space Jam 2 first, it'll be so bad that you'll wait like a whole year before even wanting to watch Space Jam 1. It's
Okay.
bad, dude. Like, oh,
Oh,
so like I'll give you a premise of how Space Jam 1 starts off. It's kind of like
mhm.
an autobiography of Michael Jordan at the beginning.
Mm,
And it kind of like stretches through like the first 30 minutes of the movie. At the beginning of Space Jam 2, they do basically everything that was like, kind of spread throughout the first 30 minutes of the movie within
mhm.
3 minutes.
Oh wow.
So they go through like LeBron James' life in like 3 minutes, and then it's like immediately like when he's older with his two sons and his wife, and yeah, it's just really stupid, man. It's it just gets dumber and dumber, and like I'm sure you saw in the you've seen the trailers for Space Jam 2, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen like all the cameos and stuff
No.
that are no the cameos like if you saw the trailer, you saw that there's like a million Warner Brother characters
Oh yeah. I mean, I
in
saw
it.
like yeah. I've seen that.
Not
When you
just
meant
the Looney
cameos.
Tunes, right? Like I'm talking about like Iron Giant. It's like freaking like that movie did you ever see Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the trailer like gives off these like Ready Player One vibes. Like they have like all these freaking Warner Brother properties. Like there's so many cameos in it. I won't spoil the cameos because it might be cool, but no, that's like the worst part of the movie because like the cameos are all in the audience like during the final scene of the movie, and it's
Mhm.
so distracting from what's going on because like all you care about is trying to see who's in the background, and they like it's like they did such a shitty job too with the CGI. Like they don't even show the characters that much because like they're not really like moving.
Mm.
It's just awful, man. Like it's such a bad movie. Like on every level, like even the villains, like they were like you know like they actually like had their own roles. They're like fleshed out and everything, and like they just are so stupid in this movie. Like the villains are like really stupid. The main villain is like even stupider. It is. And then like it's like the laziness of animation or whatever. Like they like do some stupid plot point to turn the Looney Tunes into like 3D characters, and they look awful. Yeah, it's just a shit show of a movie. I think it's one of the top 5 worst movies. I don't know that I'll just list off the 3 that come to mind. Space Jam 2, I'm not putting them in order, but
Okay.
Space Jam 2 is up there.
Oh wow.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Oh wow.
Have you seen that?
I probably have. I just don't remember which Jurassic.
Well, it was the
Is it the
second
one,
Jurassic World.
the Chris Pratt ones, right?
Yeah, it was the second of the Chris Pratt ones.
Is this the one where they go to the U.S. and it's all released into the U.S. in the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that
I
movie's
guess so.
terrible. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
yeah, and then the third movie that just pissed me off so much is
Hmm.
Now You See Me.
Really?
You like that movie?
I haven't watched it, but wow.
That movie just pisses me off. Like every oh my god, that movie just oh my god. I just hate I feel like I hate like I I have a really I you know what? I think the only movie I like Jesse Eisenberg in period is
Social Network.
Zombieland.
Oh, Zombieland. Okay.
Zombieland. I mean Social Network fine, whatever. He plays a good uh Mark Zuckerberg cuz he looks like him. So whatever.
Yeah.
But other than Zombieland, I don't really like Jesse Eisenberg, and I pretty much have always hated Dave Franco. And then who cares about the other characters because they're all pointless in the movie too. So that movie sucks. I
Yeah.
can't believe they made a sequel to it. Like I was offended that they made a sequel to it. It might be better, but I never want to see it.
Oh, okay. Because I heard like Daniel Radcliffe plays like the villain in Now You See Me too.
See that seems like it might be cool, but
I don't know. Yeah.
wait, what the hell? They're working on a Now You See Me 3?
Oh.
Why?
I wonder if it's like Planes, the Dane Cook animation thing that he tried to do.
Dude, I'm telling you, I Planes got terrible ratings, and I
Hmm.
thought those movies are gonna be shit. But like, dude, I wouldn't pit. I would rather watch Planes 1 and 2 again over Space Jam 2. They have better plot.
I think Planes was essentially like I think Dane Cook trying to do like a Cars thing of his own to kind of do like a franchise.
Yeah. So, well, like the thing about Planes that like I don't. So it's not a good movie, but it's not a bad. It's not as bad as you would think it is because the reason why I thought the movie was gonna be totally awful but I was
Mhm.
wrong, is because if you know anything about that movie, that was supposed to be a straight to DVD,
Mm,
Cars side story spinoff, like in the same universe or whatever. But it was straight
okay.
to DVD, and then they were just like, you know what, this movie will sell. Kids will watch talking planes if they watch talking cars, so we'll put it out in theaters. So like, I just the whole notion that it was a straight to DVD title, and then they decided to release it in theaters. I'm just like, this movie's got to suck. It's not that bad, but it's not as good as Cars. But
Yeah.
both of those movies are better than Cars 2. Cars 2 is probably like the worst Pixar movie.
Yeah, no, I looked up the ratings of Space Jam and Space Jam 2, and yeah, it's like everything is like halved.
There's a lot of
Like,
people though. There's a lot of people, including a lot of my friends, that say that Space Jam, the first Space Jam, wasn't that good, and I mean, I don't think it's an amazing movie. I don't think it's like
yeah.
a classic, but I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I think it's like a decent movie.
So it's like in Rotten Tomatoes, for instance, it had a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, The first
But the
Space Jam.
audience was higher, right, for Space Jam?
Yeah, it was like 6 and like I think like close to 6 on Metacritic and close
Yeah.
to 6 on something else. But for Space Jam 2, even Rotten Tomatoes, it was like a 27%.
Dude, I can't believe it's even 27. Like, the movie is bad.
Is it?
It seems like the movie too. It seems like they were talking about that movie for so long. So I don't know if like if there was like tons of rewrites or whatever, and it just kept getting shittier and shittier. Or I don't know too. Like if like part of the movie too, like LeBron was just too busy and they just had to piece whatever footage they had. I don't know, dude. The movie just it sucks.
Okay, I'll have to check it out sometime. Maybe I'll watch one of them this weekend and watch the other next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you'll you'll like the first one, man. Like the first one has like great like actual good actors in it too.
Yeah, I mean Bill Murray was apparently the first
Exactly.
one. Yeah, I think what happened was that like the first one when they made it, I thought they were just. I think like maybe it was just like a fun little project. Like it was just like this fun little project, and
Hmm.
then I think when LeBron did it, like did a remake, it was supposed to be like this thing, and I think they overdid it. Like they made it bigger than what it was supposed to be, if that makes sense. Like the first one, it was like a fun little project. Everybody had like a lot of fun with it, and it was fun. But this time, it was like, all right, franchise, or yeah, franchise legacy. We got to make it like this thing. And I think they and then they overdid it. And sometimes when you overdo it, it's not great, especially with how much they like marketed it and advertised it, and like
Yeah.
had like so much hype around it. It's like, yeah, I think that's just what happened. My guess, um, for a Space Jam 3, unless they're gonna make one immediately, pretty soon. As far as who the next person they'll base it around in like I don't know 10 years or something, or maybe 20 years. Hmm. I'm thinking maybe Zion Williamson. As he grows, I think he's potentially there. Um, because like I mean Trey Young is really freaking good. But obviously Luka Doncic is like a lot better. Zion is the person I can only think of right now in terms of like who kind of fits the mold, I guess. Um, I'm trying to think of like all the like good up and coming players that are like below the age of 22 who can potentially fit. Because I just don't think Luka Doncic would do one. Um, like, while he may partner with someone else, when he does it, I don't think he would actively do it. Like, these guys are like
Wasn't
21,
wasn't
22
there
years
a
old.
there was a basketball what was that? Wasn't there a basketball movie with Kevin Durant?
I mean, I know Kyrie Irving did like a basketball movie called Uncle Drew.
No, not that one. I remember that one.
Let's see. I have to look it up because I know LeBron, like, I thought LeBron, okay, so I'm guessing if you watched it's this Amy Schumer movie. It was like her breakout movie, I guess. It was like her, Bill Hader, LeBron was in it. That one, LeBron was actually pretty good in that movie. Like he actually, people like reacted positively to his performance in that movie.
Oh yeah, Kevin
Th-
Durant, Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck. Yeah.
For some weird reason, I don't think I've ever seen that movie fully, but I just remember seeing that movie on TV like like when I first met Laura, it was always on TV when I went there. I don't know why. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No,
It
yeah,
appear
you should just watch Thunderstruck instead of Space Jam 2.
well, it has about the same ratings as Space Jam 2, 27 on Rotten Tomatoes, a
Okay, then Space
4.3.
Jam from what I don't know. I haven't watched all
I'll,
of
I'll watch
Thunderstruck.
all three and then I'll tell you which one's the worst.
I guarantee you, man. I guarantee you that Space Jam 2 is the worst. But
Okay.
no, don't
Oh,
bother watching Thunderstruck. No one should watch that movie. I haven't watched it all. Have you ever seen Like Mike?
yeah. Well,
How
I've
have
seen
you seen?
parts.
Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say, how the hell have you seen Like Mike but haven't seen Space Jam?
I think I have seen. Maybe I have seen all of Like Mike. Yeah, Like Mike is the one where he gets Michael Jordan's shoes and like he's like Mike, right? And
Yeah.
he plays on a basketball team and stuff. Yeah, I definitely watched Like Mike. I forget how the ending is, but I do feel like I watched it all the way through. Um, yeah, no, dude, I mean, like I watched Shazam all the way through. I
Or you
watched
mean
Shazam all the way
Kazam?
through.
You mean Kazam? Shazam doesn't exist.
Oh, is it? I thought it was because I thought it was Shazam. Okay,
No, it's
Kazam.
Kazam.
Shazam is the new one that came out. That's actually it's the new DC movie that came out. That's actually one of their better ones out right now.
Did you watch that
Um,
one?
Shazam?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched it too. It was good.
yeah.
I,
Of
st- I
all
still like
the
I still liked Aquaman more.
okay, okay. I mean, like, yeah, Aquaman has been good. I think Wonder Woman, the first one, was good.
I still like the second. I think I'm one of the only people that like the second one. It was
I need
critically
to.
like people hated it, but I liked it.
Yeah, I haven't watched the second one yet, so but I need to watch it. I don't know what's gonna happen with Aquaman 2, just because of the
Oh,
whole
it's
Amber
still
Heard
coming out,
situation.
and she's still gonna be in it. There's like
Okay.
they just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody is like petitioning for her to be replaced by Emilia Clarke, um, who played Khaleesi in Game of Thrones.
Gotcha.
Because in Game of Thrones, spoilers, they were husband and wife. Even though spoilers, Jason Momoa dies.
I thought
Um,
Jason Momoa dies in season like 2.
It could be season two. It's like yeah, either season one or season two or something. It was one of those. It was a defining scene. I think it might have been season one.
It might.
Actually,
I think it might.
may
It
have been
might.
season two.
I think it might
It,
be
it was
season
like this
2. I
defining
only
scene
watched
because
season 1.
oh okay. It might have been season two because like it was like a defining scene because like she is she I don't know, I think she's of dragon blood and she can handle heat or something like that. And the way they demonstrate it is that in that scene, like he dies, and he dies, and then she like lays next to him as they burn the building or the wooden place that they're in, and she has the three dragon eggs with them with her as they burn down this wooden thing, and then she emerges from the ashes with three baby dragons, um, completely naked. But yeah, she
I
emerges
think
with
it might be at the end of the first one because I remember seeing the baby dragons alive.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was yeah. I just remember it happening like very early on.
Yeah.
There's like a defining moment in that in her arc of the three dragons coming out as baby dragons from the fires and the ashes of her deceased husband. But apparently, like, she apparently went through some stuff, and like, she and Jason Momoa apparently still have like a good friendship. Um, After they interacted, then like, so people were like, um, yeah, people, they were all wanting her to replace Amber Heard in Aquaman.
Yeah, it'd be good. Uh, Apparently, the director doesn't care. I mean,
They don't
I
really
mean,
care. It sucks that
I
Johnny
didn't,
Depp got.
I didn't read, I didn't, but still, like, even like they're wanting it, but like I didn't follow the whole court thing, but it like she's the worst, but isn't he still bad too?
I don't know. A lot of people seem to really like him too. I don't know if it was one of those things where like,
No, like I know it was a toxic relationship and she was
yeah,
like a total crazy person, but like I
yeah,
thought that like I'm pretty sure he did some things that he shouldn't have done too. So like, but I don't know. I mean, so in a way, she actually I don't know. I think it's the whole thing. I don't know, man. Part of it's probably just like I don't know. I feel like maybe part of it is like, you know, guys are thinking, their male celebrities always get canceled. So why can't a female celebrity get canceled?
Maybe. So like it was like so first thing that happened was, Amber Heard filed all these things, and then I
Hmm.
think there were photos of her with bruises and stuff, so it looked like she was
Yeah,
the one who was doing, or sorry, he was the one who was doing it, but then like recent tapes came out
and
where
he
it
was just
showed.
it's like self defense.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
basically self-defense where it was like she was the agitator and like she was the aggravator and stuff, and she was like really mentally abusive to him and everything. And like yeah, she was just like bad, and I guess yeah, it could have been like a defense thing. It's kind of weird because like how long they've been together. I don't know if it was one of those like things where like um it's like one of those weird things where like abuse victims still stay with their partners or something. It's like some weird. So
yeah.
maybe he was dealing with something like that. Um, but yeah, a lot of people were kind of pissed off that like she basically had no consequences or whatever. Whereas Johnny Depp, I think he got let go from the new Harry Potter series,
The yeah.
Fantastic Beasts.
Who knows if that movie's ever gonna come out? The
Yeah,
third one.
dude. Yeah, yeah, the third one. Yeah, waiting on it because I saw the first two and they were actually
I liked the first one. I never saw the second one.
yeah, they're actually really good.
Yeah.
And like the thing is like so all of these like new stuff like so after the first seven Harry Potter or I guess yeah I think first seven I think it was just the movie that went off to eight after the first seven books came out and the eight movies came out I thought like that was it and then they came out with Harry Potter World which I was like okay they're kind of milking and then like they started like doing like a bunch of stuff with it I'm like okay they're milking the shit out of it and then it's kind of this weird thing, but like out of principle, I just didn't read the new Fantastic books, all that because I felt like okay, they're really milking the crap out of it, and so I just didn't read the books. And then the movie came out, and I only watched the movie, and I think I might have told you this, in the past. Um, it was before the podcast started, but like I went to watch the movies at the Dollar Theater. Both movies I went to go watch at the
Oh,
Dollar
I
Theater.
didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, so I watched the first and second movie in the Dollar Theater, and it was pretty good. It was actually pretty good. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I guess we should. Man, I wonder how long this episode is gonna be. I guess we should get into the pod.
the episode, yeah,
Yeah, the actual podcast part.
yeah,
Instead of the pre-show. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. All right. So yeah, let's go with the start of this episode. So my episode's name was War of the Species.
Mhm.
I I really don't see any pun in this, but that's what it's called. I mean, I guess it makes sense with what happens, but that's the episode name. Um,
Um,
so the episode opens with Nami on the ground crying, wearing Luffy's hat. She looks up to see where Luffy is, and he's gone. Um, Back at Arlong Village, Luffy is walking in, asking where Arlong is. Arlong asks, "Who is he?" And Luffy says that he's a pirate. Hachan says, "Hey, that's the kid that likes to go for walks," and he looks ticked off. Two of Arlong's crew try to stop him, but Luffy slams their head into one another and knocks him out. Arlong then asks what he wants with him, and Luffy winds up his fist and hits Arlong with his fist in the face, sending him flying back. Arlong gets up and is like, "Who is this twerp?" As Luffy begins to think of how Nami was and her begging for his help. Luffy says he's Nami's friend, and everyone tries to jump to attack him, but Sanji, uh, man, my autocorrect corrected Sanji to Sanjay, but Sanji blocks the attack and knocks out the henchman. Sanji then asks them to leave. Uh, some for him, as Usopp says no need to leave any for him. He'll just watch. So is this about the same so far?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like, basically, he punched Arlong, and he says that was for making our navigator cry.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, but besides that, yeah, Hachin, he makes these basically the same kind of jokes. And yeah, so far, yeah, everything is about the same. Yep.
Okay. This is the one part I do not think this is in the Funimation dub. It almost seemed like they're this part does. I don't know. Anyways, at this point, when Usopp says there's no need to leave any for him, Zolo then comes on and starts making a chicken noise, like a little, like your chicken. Was that in the Funimation dub?
No,
Do you?
Zoro basically.
Yeah. Do you remember what he says to him?
Yeah, he basically says, so yes, Sanji's like, hey, leave some for me. Usopp is like, oh yeah, you don't need to leave any for me. And then Zoro sarcastically is like, yeah, it looks like you're kind of ready to fight. And like a sarcastic tone. Um, he jokes about how like, looks like Usopp's like ready to fight in like a sarcastic tone, knowing, that Usopp's just joking about that. But yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that part that part just seemed really out of place because like you could see that he's like mouthing something. So like it doesn't fit like the chicken thing. Like he's not even doing like a chicken expression. He's just like "Blah, blah, blah." I don't know. It was like freaking silly. Um so then Hachan says he knows who Zolo is and he can't believe that he once offered him a ride. Then they notice that Usopp is there and they're shocked because they thought that Nami stabbed him, only to realize that it was a trick the whole time. Arlong is pissed, and the villagers begin to ask, at the gates, who are those guys? Johnny and Yusaku mentioned that it's the Straw Hat crew, and they will be able to handle it. Arlong calls Luffy's crew putrid humans, and that they don't stand a chance. At this point, Hachin calls in for their secret weapon, and a
hmm
huge tidal wave comes in. So is this still the same so far?
When Hachin calls, he like blare his one of like his nose in like a horn shape or his mouth in like a horn shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, then yeah, so far, yep.
Okay. So all of a sudden, a huge cowfish appears before them, and it's Momu, all beaten up from before. Momu is seen crying with tears coming out of his eyes, and starts swimming off. Arlong calls him a coward and tells him to come back, and that he's melting like butter on a hot plate, and that he's milk toast.
Mhm.
Momu gets enraged and opens his teeth and swims towards Luffy.
Mm.
Luffy pits his fists together and stomps his feet into the ground. this this part is really funny. This is like a really good pun. Then Sanji asks Zolo what he's doing, and Zolo says, "Evidently, he's putting his foot on the ground."
Okay. Wait, so before you continue, so um Arlong doesn't say anything?
I mean, I might have left that detail out. I mean, he calls Momu a coward, but
Okay. Because like yeah, like Arlong yeah, so as Momo's leaving, like Arlong like starts to kind of no, like kind of like in like a demeaning way tell at Momu, it's like, hey, why are you leaving and stuff, and like you could see there's like fear in Momu's
yes,
eyes.
yeah. That part
Yeah.
happens.
Okay. I wanted to make sure, but yeah. So as yeah, basically Luffy puts his foot, and then there I think like I don't know if it's this scene exactly for you guys, but it's like yeah, I think Sanji asks like, "What are you about to do?" And then Zoro's like, "I don't know, but it's looking like it's gonna get weird." And then they run away. But yeah, go, I guess continue.
Yeah. Yeah. So they start to run away at this point because at this point Luffy extends his arms out and grabs a hold of Momu. Um, at this point, Arlong, realizes that Luffy's eaten the cursed fruit. Luffy then performs the what he calls gum gum pinwheel, and swings Momu all around above his head in circles, twisting his body. And while he's doing this, he's like, like causing like mass destruction in Arlong Park, knocking out, a lot of Arlong's men. And he just sends Momu soaring out.
So
Um,
does this attack does it kind of replicate the pinwheel on Hachin's
yeah, yeah. So
not Hachin Genzo?
Genzo, yeah, yeah. So it shows the pinwheel during that time while it's happening.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, is that the same thing that happens?
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah,
it called the Gum Gum Pinwheel?
yeah. Something like that. It's just yeah, it
So
was
do you
like yeah,
think
pinwheel.
like
Yeah,
is it like do you think he like do you think that is trying to say that he got that idea for that attack by seeing Genzo's pinwheel?
yeah, because yeah, earlier in the arc, he talked about how he saw the pinwheel and then it said
Yeah.
it gave him an idea for an attack, and so yeah, this is that.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I remember that, but in the all I remember in the Four Kids dub is him saying that's a weird hat. That's a like he doesn't say that's an idea for an attack, but
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what at least for, that's what happens in the regular belt. But yeah, go ahead.
got it. Um yeah, so then Luffy says he didn't come here to fight a cow. Um and then the village folks see that Momu has been tossed aside and they're in shock. Luffy then says to try and get his starts to try and get his feet out of the ground as Arlong's right hand men are now prepared to fight. Hachan says to wipe the floor with them. Hachan then puffs his chest as Sanji says it's time for a Hachi burger. Hachan then throws ink out and everyone dodges it except Luffy, who now can't see and is trying to get his feet out of the ground still. Hachin now has picked up a huge piece of debris and tries to throw it, towards Luffy. But at the last second, Sanji blocks it with his foot and breaks it apart. Um, is this still what's happening for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sanji then says a captain who would cheat a lovely lady is a lame. Kurobi then says Nami is a traitor and also a liar, liar, pants on fire, and is no lady. Obviously, I guess that's an English thing.
Yeah, yeah. Um Actually, Hachin, yeah, he doesn't say that. He does this like funny thing where he's like, "Oh, I can't believe he fell for it, hook, line, and clanker or anchor." That he like tries to confuse because obviously the phrase is hook, line, and sinker. So he's like, "Oh, I fell for it, hook, line, and anchor." Wait, no, that's not right. And then he's like, "Hook, line, and sinker."
I
So
think,
yeah, yeah.
I think, yeah, I think he might have said something like that. Actually,
Okay,
I think
okay.
that might have been similar. Um, but yeah. Anyways, at this point, Sanji says that he can cook both of his pants and his fins, to
Mhm.
referring to Kurobi. Kurobi then flexes. So I don't understand like what the heck is up with like is it like a fin that he has like on his arm?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he like flexes his like fin or whatever that's attached to his arm and prepares for an attack. Luffy is now being trying to be carried away by Usopp, but he can't move and is extremely stiff from the ink, so he can't like get his feet out of the ground.
Mhm.
Um, Usopp is stretching him but can't pull his legs out. At this point, Hachi tries picking up more debris and throwing it at them. As at this time, Zolo sticks his sword towards Hachi and blocks that. Or yeah, he at that point Hachi throws the debris and Zolo dodges it, and he then begins to provoke him. Um,
Mhm.
and then at the same point, Usopp lets go of Luffy, still fully extended out, and he flies toward Chu, knocking him out before landing back up on his 2 feet in the rock. He just like kind of like lands back up like upright.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
at this point, Chu is pissed at Usopp and tells him that he'll squash him like a bug. And of course, Usopp runs away. Chu then notices all the village folk are standing outside of town and begins to talk to them before being hit by a flaming rock by Usopp. Is that the same type of thing that hits him?
Yeah, it's like flamethrower star.
Yeah. Um, Usopp then runs off again with Chu chasing him. Uh, I thought it was funny because Usopp calls him trumpet lips as he's running away.
Hmm.
Arlong begins walking towards Luffy as he says he wants to play a new game called Sink or Swim. Arlong then rips off the entire piece of ground Luffy is standing on and tosses him towards the ocean.
Mm.
Luffy lands right side up, still stuck on the rock. Is this what's happening in yours?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, Arlong's like, "Hey, let's play a game," and then he talks about how like devil fruit users can't
Yeah.
swim, but anyone in his position will sink to the floor. And then yeah, he takes the thing and he tosses him down.
Yep. So Sanji then begins to jump in as Zolo tells him that's exactly what they want to fight in water. Luffy is slowly sinking as Zolo says he'll handle Hachi and Sanji will fry the fish, aka Kurobi.
Yeah.
Luffy is then seen sinking down into the water, holding his breath. Arlong says he's so at this point. Okay, so they didn't say it earlier, but what's interesting at this point, Arlong says that Luffy is hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah. Um, so then Zolo tells Hachi not to cry and that he's going to finish them. Kurobi then punches Sanji immediately as Hachi throws more ink at Zolo, but Zolo is able to successfully dodge. It
Hmm.
then goes back and shows Luffy one more time holding his breath underwater. Usopp is then seen running off as Chu continues to chase him. And that's the end of the episode.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. So they kind of kept with all three of the four, four of the fighters and stuff, and yeah, that's kind of how this one ends as well. But yeah,
So this one's pretty straightforward, almost like exactly just other than the really silly Americanized dialogue
yeah, the chicken laugh wasn't quite the same.
and the liar, liar, pants on fire.
Does yeah, I forgot, but the shoe, does he see that like the citizen zeros have like weapons on them and stuff?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
they're like actual weapons, right? Like
yeah,
swords and forks and stuff. Okay.
yeah. He comments on them like,
Okay.
I can't believe you have weapons or whatever. Like they're pathetic.
Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, yeah, just in anticipation of like this, I did watch like two episodes prior to this, just in case they condensed anything. But yeah, it looks like they didn't. So yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how my episode went as well.
Oh, and your episode title was
It was actually like I think like Luffy stuck, Luffy in danger. One second. Yeah, it's Luffy in big trouble, Fishman versus the Luffy pirates.
got it.
Yeah. Yep.
Alrighty. Well, we will be coming back in 2 weeks for episode 37 from my end, episode 39 from your end, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing what's happening. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back then.
All right. Cool.